Hello everybody, my dear plant lovers. Today I'm making a video and I want to share something very profound, very deep that is about to occur in my life. And I wasn't sure I was going to share this part, but we're all on a journey together, so I guess we're all in it together. So I've be assured I'm very healthy and never been healthier in my life actually. However, as I keep pushing deeper and deeper and trying to purify myself and reconnect to reconnect to nature and creation, I find that I need to continue to purify myself, my body, my soul, and my spirit. And my practice of sacred agriculture, my sacred gardening has, for those who've been following this process of mine, has morphed into focusing on the wild medicinal and the wild edibles, basically the plants that come from nature, rather than focusing on techniques on how to grow the plants from what I call Babylon, you know, the hybridized food stuff given to us by the seed corporations. You know, I don't touch GMO, but everything pretty much has been like hybridized to a certain point, you know. Even heirloom is not the natural wild genetics. So anyways, I was reading up on, doing some research on the different types of ways to purify. And of course the wind is going to pick up now that I'm making this video. Hopefully it's not going to cloud the audio too much. And okay, I need to focus. I don't want to be all over the place here, but I might be a little bit spreading myself. 2-3 years ago I did an Ayurvedic cleanse. I bought some herbs from India and ate khichdi. And anyways, it was interesting. It was my first cleanse, you know, attempt at purifying my my body outside of what I eat and what I don't eat or don't drink. I mean, anyways, it didn't last very long. I think it was like 3 days, and I didn't dig very deep, and I didn't feel anything per se in my body, you know, besides for the side effects of only eating khichdi. But this time, what I read, and I found this man, his name is Dr. Robert Morse, M-O-R-S-E, and he's a naturopath, hygienic health, things like that. And he talks about the importance of deacidifying our bodies. And he focuses a lot on the lymphatic system and the kidneys, the role of how the kidneys, if your kidneys are not purifying your fluids, and your lymph is not moving and it stagnates, and where it stagnates, you have buildup of acidity and in the interstitial tissues, in that fluid there. It's not in the blood, it's in the lymph, and which feeds every single cell there. It's like it takes out, it cleans out your metabolites, like it cleans out what the cells are removing, you know. Anyways, when your lymph gets caught up and doesn't circulate, it gets thick, it gets thicker, it gets acid, and it causes, and then that's caused to inflammation. And inflammation is, if you study this, is the number one cause of discomfort and cascading a cascade of events that lead to sickness and disease. So anyways, he recommended doing eating fruit, doing like what he calls a fruit fast, which is basically only eating fruit for a certain amount of days. And I was about to do a fruit fast. I'm gonna show you here a little bit here in the garden today. We're heading towards spring, so yeah, there's not much. I mean, there's not much in terms of me gardening right now in here. I'm tending my wild edibles, like this one here. I should say, you know, I should just point out that this is a stinging nettle. And it has started to grow again, and we're only in the end of February, and it survived winter, which, you know, which is great. And that it's starting nice. It's just going to grow more and more. Now, spring is the best time to be collecting your nettle stuff if you want to eat them. Anyways, I looked into doing this fruit fast, and then I looked at the other modalities like water fasting, because it seems like fasting is a very powerful form of detox, of cleansing your body. And I won't get into all the details right in this video. I will talk about it as this process of mine goes on. But anyways, fasting is a very powerful way to cleanse. It's been done by countless cultures throughout the history of mankind. You know, this is what animals do when also they're injured. They curl up somewhere and they heal. They don't, you know, they don't eat. They probably can't hunt, you know, also. That's just, anyways, so I was like, maybe I should up the game from fruit fasting to water fasting. But the fruit fast offers the body some form of nourishment and some form of energy, right? The fructose, and it has the minerals and vitamins in the fruits. So you're not completely like wasting away while you're fasting. It may be not as efficient. It could be efficient because of some of the properties of the fruit, you know. But you are eating calories and taking in some nutrition. Water fasting is very aggressive, and it's just water. Your body goes into like a different mode. So I decided I didn't want to do the water fasting, and the fruit fasting was enticing. However, I don't have good access to good fruit right now where I live. Not just right now, all the time, everywhere. There is no good fruit. It's all laced with pesticides. They literally have taken the apple, you know, from the Garden of Eden and transformed the apple into something toxic. See that? Yeah, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Not anymore. Not anymore. And the bananas, and oranges, you know, I was reading up on the different pesticides and they use, and some of them are neurotoxic, you know, like so. And then organic, you have to find the organic fruit. It costs a fortune. Like grapes, it's $8 for a small bunch, and I would have to eat 2 bunches a day. That's $16 a day. And then you still have to contend with the herbicides and pesticides and chemical fertilizers and everything else that they use in organic. I'm not going to get into an organic, certified organic rant here, but do your research. And there's organic does not mean it's not pesticide. There's no pesticide. Organic can and will spray all sorts of different pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, and have all these chemical fertilizers. But as long as they're approved on the OMRI list, right? And there's literally like dozens and dozens and dozens of these synthetic chemicals that can be sprayed in organic, and the non-synthetic. That doesn't mean they're safe either. Anyways, so this is why I'm showing you stinging nettle. I decided that I'm going to tear down the house, build a temple, but I'm not going to completely tear down the foundation. I have a good foundation. I've been eating good. I've been eating very, very, very well for the last few years. Only on the surface of things, you know, that I've been eating some lots of beans and wheat and wheat berries and rice, and also in lentils and all sorts of things. Sometimes I eat some pasta, or I eat some bread. And anyways, this has caused inflammation in my body, and I know that I could work on this on my lymphatic system and my kidneys. So this here, this is what is going to be my spiritual and my material ally as I do this fast. And you will follow me throughout this fast. And it's stinging nettle, and it has some amazing properties. It has a lot of nutrition, and it has a lot of medicinal properties, and it has I also consider it to be a spiritual ally to the humankind. Okay, and I won't get into it in this video, because I want just to initiate the process, and then as I go along, I will make more clips throughout my fast and my purification, and I will talk about the different aspects of the plant and the fasting itself. So I will be harvesting the tops of this beautiful stinging nettle, and I will be making I will be juicing it. I'll be making a smoothie, and I'll be adding other things. So it's a nettle plus. Okay, the plus is all the little other things that I'll add, and I'll show you that. So what it is going to be, I'm going to call this an intermittent nettle plus detox protocol. And the intermittent fasting means that I'm going to restrict my feeding to a small window during the day. I'm only going to eat during a 5-hour period during the day, or 4-hour period. So for example, 20 hours in the day, I will fast, which will bring all sorts of benefits, like autophagy and the production of all sorts of chemicals, the lowering of the insulin, and all sorts of things, which will be part of the purification of the body. And then I will eat during that window, which might be 4 hours. It might be a bit more, but I'm definitely going to do at least 18 hours of fasting, if not more. As I was going to do the water fasting, which was going to be not eating at all. So, and I was going to do it to 7 days, right? Now with this nutrition covering the foundation, like building a new foundation, a very strong foundation, like built on creation and nature, okay, and a very powerful ally here. I feel confident that I can do this for 7 days, maybe 10 days, okay, of quote fasting, and with this nutrition. Let me show you something here real quick. This here is chickweed. I had said to myself I was going to do a chickweed blood purification detox this year, because chickweed here grows everywhere, and it is said in herbology to be a very good blood purifier, and it's an amazing plant to be eating in spring like that. But it's I think it pales in comparison when it comes to the medicinal and health benefits of stinging nettle. The nettle is just so amazing. Okay, now the Intermittent Nettle Plus Detox Protocol includes adding a little bit more than that. Let me show you why. Let me show you what. I have it right here. As you know, I forage wild medicinal plants and I grow them in the garden. And so what I did is I dried some herbs just before winter, so I can make myself some teas during winter, some very powerful healing and comforting teas for the body. And I have these 3 here, and there's missing one. Yeah, there's missing one. And this one's a mix that I made of these. There's actually 4. Now, this one here is called Bacopa. And you go look in my videos. I made a video where I harvested some Bacopa from the wild, and I talk about the medicinal properties of Bacopa. Very good for the mind, for things of the brain, Alzheimer, dementia, memory, good for the skin, the hair, things like that. It's a, sorry, I'm a bit fidgety. Okay. This is horsetail. Horsetail, maybe you've seen this grow in some wetter patches. Horsetail is, I harvested horsetail and I powdered it, right? Like made this kind of flour. And horsetail is very, very rich in silica, a bioavailable silica. And silica is a very old chemical in that it is the ages of the dinosaurs, and way before that, plants were mostly like they didn't have leaves so much, you know. That's the leaf organ came later in the quote evolution of the plant. So you had silica-based plants where the silica was holding them together. It was a different plant morphology. So that's why the horsetail is just this one whip coming out of the ground, and there's no leaves, but the chlorophyll is inside the stem. It's a very old ancestral plant on this planet, and silica is what they say. Okay, when they say, you've heard this somewhere, when people say the food that we grow nowadays that isn't as nutritious as it used to be because the soil is lacking of mineral contents, and therefore the plants are not as nutritious. Silica is one of those minerals that people talk about that is lacking. And it's lacking in our bodies. We lack that silica, and silica is linked to calcium and to all sorts of processes. Therefore, on the bones and the teeth. And you want to have good, strong teeth. You take silica, but you take bioavailable silica in the form of a plant, which is a horsetail. Now, I have also done this with comfrey. I grow comfrey, and look at here's a little comfrey. This is coming back. It just started to sprout from its rootstock. Comfrey does not survive here during winter. I have lots of comfrey growing in everywhere here. Lots and lots. So, and then this here is a, look at how much there is in here. Unbelievable. This here is nettle. I collected some nettle, I dried it, and I made a powder. Now then I did what I call myself a super mix. I mixed comfrey, nettle, horsetail, and bacopa in this here, and I put some holes in here. And what I do is when I eat a meal, I put this on, on my food. Or I could make a tea. I could have it however I want. It's a very, very powerful healing cocktail, like unbelievable. You can't find this in the stores. I mean, this here, whew, So this is the plus, okay, and I don't need this because I have the fresh ones. If I run out, I could always come to this here. But I'm going to basically make myself every day a tea of this super mix on top of this. So that is my protocol. One more thing I want to add here. Okay. Let me show you here. Here's some more nettles coming out. There should be plenty to be able to eat some every day. I'll show you. I'm going to make a smoothie, like a juice. I'm going to juice some and show you. But let me just show you something else. There's a lot of things I could be showing you in the garden right now. Things don't. It's like it's winter, but lots of stuff is still happening here. Okay. This was my patch, one of my patches. I have like 3 different places of turmeric. You know, look at my videos, I grow turmeric. And so I'm gonna harvest some turmeric. Always keep some back, you know. I don't do anything, it comes back here by itself every year. So yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of turmeric in my mix, okay? Not a lot, because I'm gonna have some every day, and it's not a turmeric cleanse, but turmeric is a very powerful plant. The roots, it's if you're looking for anti-inflammation, this is it, the turmeric. And the nettle too. I mean, I will get into all those details, I promise you, but right now I just want to talk about the protocol. Okay. Here's another patch of some stuff I was growing. Let's go look at, I'm going to harvest some because I don't have any at home right now. Let's do this together with one hand. Got one hand. Here we go. Let's see what we get out of here, huh? Look at that. This, my friends, is ginger. Most amazing ginger. If you've never had fresh ginger like that from the ground, all I could say is, oh my God, it is nothing like the ginger you buy at the store. It has a lot more of that ginger essential oil type smell, and it also is not as stringy. It's more like buttery, you know. You don't even need to take the skin off. It's so soft and delicate, you know, like see, just with my nail, I'm going inside. It's creamier, buttery. So ginger, turmeric. Let me get my tool. I'm going to add a little bit of ginger and turmeric inside my my juice, my nettle juice that I'm going to make. Yeah, that is going to be a very powerful cleanse. Let me tell you that. Look at this. Some collard greens have survived winter. I had collard greens during the winter. It's a Babylonian food. Comes from the mustard, the wild mustard plant. I still am growing some food from but I'm just moving away from it. Not moving away completely from it. Okay, so there you have it. Let me just, one last thing. Okay, you see here, all this green stuff growing in the garden is all betony. B-E-N-T-Y, betony. All of this is betony. All of that. Now, I made a video, I think I called Betony, my rattle root snake friend, something like that. Betony is a wild edible, and it makes tubers, and it makes these finger-long tubers that look like rattlesnake tails, and they taste a little bit like soft, delicate radishes, And there's a story behind this. My friend here, when I had this garden at first, there was only a small little patch right here, and I harvested some to eat, and I tried to spread them around, and I said to the Bethany, I said, "Aw," I said, "I wish you would grow more everywhere." And then the Bethany said, "I love you too." And then look at it now. Now I'm like, hey, not that much. Now it's like, what am I gonna do with this Bethany? I have other things here that I want to be growing, you know. Like in here, there's a mix. There's all sorts of stuff underneath this Bethany. You know, there's echinacea I have in here. There's all sorts of things. But anyways, I'm going to have a discussion with my friend Bethany and ask it to hold back a little bit. Oh man, it's funny. These plants, I swear they respond. At least they respond. I know they do. The amaranth did the same thing. All of these wild edibles here, you only find them in this abundance in this little area around here. Okay, and even places that I don't disturb the soil, they pop up, and they don't pop up anywhere else on this property. Very interesting. I think I've gotten into this deep relationship with them. So there you go. Next, I'm going to make a smoothie. Here we are. See you on the other side. Let's do this. Okay, I could feel the sting. That's for sure. I actually don't mind the sting in that I believe it's part of the process. Some water in here. Just might as well put it all in here. It's part of the process in that. Okay. I'm only going to put this much ginger and this much turmeric. I don't need a lot. It's not about quantity, it's about quality and right, following your instinct basically. So let's see what happens here. Let's do it. Yeah, the sting is there, is part of the plant's mojo, one could say, and it's there to say, hey, look, this is part of me. This has something to do with me, and it may be a part of the medicinal experience. It may be part of the conscious awareness experience, and it's not something to shy away from, especially if you're going to be asking the plant to become your foundation for the healing process. I'm gonna have one more go here, and let's see here if I do it faster. Hello, what's going on? make sure, you know, I get all that turmeric and ginger nicely mixed up. So I'm going to put it in here. See if I could do this here properly. There you go. So I'm going to shake it well and drink it now. I'm not going to like guzzle that down mindlessly. I'm going to give myself 4 hours. I'm going to drink this in a 4-hour period. Probably, I would say between 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. It probably will be more like, knowing myself, if I'm realistic here, it'll probably be like from 5 to 7, you know. It could even be 5 to 6. I might actually down that in one. I could probably, I'm thinking, blend it, mix it a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that once I finish this video. So that is, and then later on, after I'm done doing this, maybe before going to bed or something, I'm going to make myself a tea. Especially if I had this a little bit earlier, you know, if I have this at 2 o'clock, then I might be like around 7 at night, 6 at night, I might be really like wanting for some food soothing, and I might have my tea. But that's it. This is it. This is going to be my this is my detox protocol. And I was going to do a fruit fast, but the fruit, you know, is just too toxic. Sorry, fruit industry. Driscoll, you messed it up for us humans. You seriously did. So you have to grow your own fruit, which I'm in the process of doing, but it just takes time to grow fruit. It's time to take trees, you know. And then, but let me just say, and I digress again, okra is fruit, and butternut squash is fruit, you know. And then you have all the cantaloupes that I could grow. I could grow all the melons and things like that. So, I mean, I'm going to grow lots of fruits and have some fruits, because I'm going to be, once I'm done with this, I'm going to be incorporating a lot more fruit days during my the week. Okay. But so I'm tearing down the house and I'm building a temple. And but I don't want to tear everything, the foundation, everything down, absolutely everything. And this is the foundation that upon which I will keep my foundation, plus this here little like foundation enhancer. And it's I'm calling upon the stinging nettle. And it's, so you see, it's not about the conventional forms of nutrition per se. Okay, I'm not trying to reach like maintenance calorie levels, like, you know, it might be 2,000 calories, maybe 2,500 calories that would be required. This is not going to be that level of calories. It's not going to meet the daily requirement of the government as far as the proteins go, and fats or whatnot. It's going to meet them certainly for vitamin K and all sorts of other vitamin Bs and stuff like that, because of the nettle is so powerful. But it's not about meeting macro targets or micro targets. It's a spiritual thing, and I'm calling upon this spiritual ally, this in the plant kingdom, to assist me in the process of purifying myself and healing myself at a deep level. Okay, and it has to do with conscious awareness, with the human consciousness. Okay, and the body has to be pure for the mind to also be able to elevate itself, and to consciousness to expand into places that otherwise could very difficult having the difficulties with the word difficulties. It would be very difficult to access certain levels of modalities of the spiritual domain for the human consciousness in an impure body that is not functioning properly, where you have, quote, the chi's not flowing, the chakras are not turning, and so on, to use some language from the Hindus or the ancient Chinese Qigong practitioners. So it's a spiritual thing, and it's about consciousness. And so I'm calling forth the spirit of this plant to assist me in this process. And therefore, hopefully my consciousness will expand, and this will have an impact on me and my fellows, all the brothers and sisters around the world. And then this will have an impact on the relationship of at least one human being, which is me, with the plant kingdom. Okay, so indirectly the plant kingdom will benefit from its becoming an ally with me. Okay, so let's do this. I will not make a video every single day. Okay, I don't know how long this is gonna last. I want to do 10 days. It could be less. I'm going to listen to my body. It could be more. I'm going to listen to my body. But yeah, I don't even know what my capacity is to listen to my body in that sense. Am I really listening? Am I really hearing the messages? But this is what it's about. But I will make a video maybe every second, every third day or something like that, and to explain more about the plants, and what are the healing modalities of these plants, and then also give you a little up to date on how I'm doing. And I'm glad that you're there with me, because it helps motivate me. This requires a lot of motivation. It requires courage. It requires, there's some sacrifices and suffering involved. And you can't do an alchemic transformation without the proper energy. And the spiritual transformations require a tremendous amount of energy to transmute from one lower state to a higher state. Okay, you need that energy, and that energy doesn't come by just enjoying yourself and sitting on the sofa guzzling beer and watching the football game while you eat Dorito chips. It requires some form of suffering and sacrifice to summon that energy necessary for the alchemic transformation to raise from a lower state to a higher state of conscious awareness and vibrations. Okay, there you go. I'm getting a little bit esoteric on you here today, but I'm sharing a very deep and profound aspect of my life here with all of you. So, yep, I'll keep you informed, and even I'll share even the hardships and my failures, if there are any. There probably will be. All right, bye-bye.